US senators have passed a bill banning all goods from China's Xinjiang region. It's the latest effort by Washington to take Beijing to task over its human rights record. The legislation assumes all products from Xinjiang are made with forced labor. Importers will need to prove otherwise. Washington has already banned imports of cotton, tomatoes, and some solar products from the region. It says US companies with supply chain and investment ties to Xinjiang could face legal consequences. Beijing has denied any human rights abuse, calling it the biggest lie of the century. Simon Marks joins us from the US Capitol for more. Simon, retail companies expected to take a big hit from this bill.
Yes, potentially, Steve. This measure still has to be passed in the House of Representatives, and we don't quite know when it may get put to a vote in that legislature. But assuming it passes in the House of Representatives, it then heads to President Biden's desk for signature. And it's a pretty blunt instrument because it's not just targeting businesses that the US concludes are supporting forced labor practices in Xinjiang. It is banning all products produced in Xinjiang from the United States. The co-sponsors of the legislation, Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, who of course is a Republican, and Senator Jeff Merkley, a Democrat from Oregon, say that any international company that profits from forced labor in Xinjiang is being sent a clear message: no more. And we know that some major corporations, including Nike and Coca-Cola, that buy some products from Xinjiang, have been lobbying against this move. So perfectly possible, they say, that this will lead to rising prices for consumers, as some of America's leading corporates have to seek alternative sources of supply. There is some time for them to adjust to all of this, of course, because the bill is not law yet and has to go to the House of Representatives.
And what does this sort of mean for Washington reviewing the Phase 1 trade deal with Beijing then?
Yeah, so earlier in the week, Catherine Tai, the new US trade representative, indicated that there is going to be a fresh assessment of the Phase 1 trade deal between the United States and China. She told an online event that was hosted by the Financial Times that she's going to be doing that in conjunction, she hopes, with her Chinese counterparts. It's the agreement that we have, she said. It's the agreement that we will work from and that we will build from. Now, that kind of language doesn't suggest that the Biden administration in any way is planning to bulldoze the Phase 1 trade deal. She presented this as a genuine effort to understand how things have been going ahead of the expiration of that current agreement at the end of this year. But all of that is going to have to be worked out in conversations with the Chinese that she hopes to be having over the course of the next several weeks as we head towards the expiration of the agreement. But I think investors and the markets and probably also the Chinese will be looking at those comments from Catherine Tai and saying, well, maybe it looks like this thing is going to be kept alive.
Okay, thanks, Simon. Simon Marks speaking to us from Washington, D.C.